There are lots of people who like to talk about the rise of the rest. And I'm very supportive of that. I worked very hard to help Pittsburgh rise to the extent that it could. People talk about the rebirth of Detroit, a city that we both run and I both care very deeply about. But here's a fact for you. In the year 1990, 22% of venture capital-backed startups were in the San Francisco Bay Area. Today, 50% are. There are two neighborhoods in downtown San Francisco that were formerly burned-out warehouse districts when I began studying high-technology industry. Those two neighborhoods attract more than $1 billion in venture capital investment each annually, more than any other nation, save for the United States, on the planet. Our world is not becoming spread out. For the things that really matter, they are becoming more and more concentrated. So the first dimension of the new urban crisis is winner-take-all urbanism, where London and New York and San Francisco and Toronto and another small group of cities, a couple of dozen, maybe 3 dozen cities around the world capture disproportionate gains. And what's so interesting about this is if a city like London or New York or Toronto used to be strong in finance or media and entertainment, other than San Francisco, guess which are the only cities that have seen any real appreciable gain in high technology startups? New York City today, in that same area that I studied as a young student, that same area of Lower Manhattan, which had not a single high-tech startup then, now attracts more venture capital per year than Silicon Valley proper. And it's approaching double. Think about this. The place that houses Facebook and Apple and Intel, now New York City, London, and Toronto are the only places that have made appreciable gains in venture capital-backed startups. So they've added technology to their mix of industries of finance and media and entertainment and these high-velocity, high-value-added, highly innovative industries. We are seeing a level of spatial inequality. It's not economic inequality that is the real central issue of our time. A level of spatial inequality. And I just want you guys to understand this. In fact, the U.S., which gave rise to Trump, has one of the lowest levels of spatial inequality of any advanced country. A simple rubric. In the United States, the 5 largest metros produce a quarter of GDP. In Canada, the 5 largest metros produce 50% of GDP. And in South Korea, 1 metro, Seoul, produces 50% of GDP. Our world is incredibly spatially unequal, and that is causing the backlash that we see.